I also have been encouraging major sports teams to plan reopenings without fans, but the games could be televised. New York State will help those major sports franchises to do just that. Hockey, basketball, baseball, football, whoever can reopen. We're a ready, willing, and able partner.
Sporting events, pro sports, in that first week or so of June without spectators and modifications and very prescriptive conditions also can begin to move forward.
That was first Andrew Cuomo, the governor of the state of New York, and then Gavin Newsom, the governor of the state of California, with some positive news about the return of professional sports. California had been a bit of a wild card. There have been people who were thinking that maybe Gavin Newsom would maybe slow play it a little bit, maybe not open California for pro sports even without fans present. And look, there are plenty of conversations happening behind the scenes. This is a very political process, not political in the red state, blue state sense, political in the sense that you got to work the phones. You got to work the relationships. You got to make sure people understand the costs and the benefits and the alternatives. And I think once Gavin Newsom realized the NFL will pack up their 3 California teams and move them elsewhere for the season, that probably helped people get some clarity in California as to whether or not they're going to allow pro sports to continue, because they will continue in some other state.
That's right. They're going to, it seems like it's going to happen, especially with the NFL, and they're steadfast on making it happen. And, with these 32 owners and the money and power they have and the train in which is the NFL, I'm not going to not believe them until I have enough proof to say, okay, it's not going to happen. But I do believe them in that. And yeah, you're right. I was worried about California too, but also, I think, some of these governors are looking at it going, okay, we need to jumpstart the economy. It'd be nice to have all those players there. We could tax some of their paychecks, do all of that. Of course, it'll be good for the economy in general, even if there aren't fans at the stadium. People are going to, go to the stores and buy beers and buy food so they can maybe have some family or a few really close friends over to watch a football game, let alone it's like soup for the soul. That's the other thing, too. We need it. We're going crazy as a country right now. We're all going crazy, and like I said, I'm taking little baby steps. I actually saw 2 friends yesterday that I hadn't seen in 9 weeks. They've been smart. We said, okay, we'll bring the kids over there, let our kids play with their kids. But, I'm about to go crazy, and I think the whole damn country is. And I want sports back just almost as medicine for all of us to help us through this.
The other good news, teams are allowed to open their facilities today if they are in communities that will permit it. Roughly 22 of the franchises are allowed to do it, but still not all of them are going to. They're taking their time. They're moving slowly. The real question is, when will teams be able to reconvene for training camp? Will they have training camps in their normal facilities? Will they have to go somewhere else? These are all things to be determined. And there is time, but not a ton of time. We're getting toward Memorial Day weekend. The end of May will be here. June will fly by. I think after the 4th of July, there better be some clear plans about when training camps can open, will open, and where they will open, or the NFL is going to have a hard time getting ready for the start of the season on Thursday, September 10. Another thing that's come up, Chris, and this came from the Adam Schefter podcast, Dr. Tom Mayer, the NFLPA's medical director, says that they have been testing modified face masks that contain surgical or N95 mask material. Does not surprise me at all. I thought maybe guys would find a way to cover their faces. Now maybe they're going to cover their face masks. Maybe we're going to have remember the old Justin Tuck face mask that was that convoluted barbed wire thing that you couldn't stick a finger through if you wanted to.
Right.
It could be a very tight mesh metal design that has a layer of, on the inside or the outside, protective material to keep those droplets, to keep saliva, to keep other things from getting through into the face of the player.
Yeah, listen, it sounds smart and sure, but first off, I don't think players give a damn. And you just saw that the hissy fit that Tom Brady threw to wear a new helmet, or Antonio Brown. Now you think you're going to put on a face mask on those guys that's going to cover up their mouth? Good luck getting that on Tom Brady at 43 years old. And hey, we just watched a video of Big Ben throwing to James Conner and Juju Smith-Schuster. Listen, I'm going to stand by this. I don't think football players give a damn about COVID-19, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful. I'm fearful of it, and but at that age, and I understand the way the physical peak condition they're in. And hey, great, it's a face mask on there that they can't breathe. Meanwhile, they're sweating and bleeding on each other. Or, as a quarterback, you got your finger up, your center's, butt crack all game. All right. So I don't know. They're going to put a mask over his butt crack, too, to take the germs away there. There's just nothing you can do for all of it.
Can you stop? Can you stop?
Maybe shotgun only this year. Maybe they're only going to do shotgun.
Please. But there may be players who have natural concerns. There's going to be the group of guys who say, we don't care. But we talked about Patrick Peterson earlier in the program. He's diabetic, and he knows he's diabetic. What about all the guys who don't know they're diabetic? We hear all the time, well, if you're older, if you have health conditions, you should continue to stay away from people. There are plenty of folks walking around who don't know that they have a health condition that leaves them at risk for a serious outcome from the coronavirus. There are plenty of people who are diabetic who don't know it. There are plenty of people who have other conditions that don't know it. The offensive and defensive linemen for many teams are morbidly obese. That's a risk factor regardless of any other health conditions they may have. So there will be guys who think, hey, what can I do to protect myself? But you're right. They're in the petri dish. And I don't know that a little surgical mask or N95 material is going to make a difference when you're talking about playing a football game where guys are constantly blocking and tackling. And here's the other thing, too. And you know how football players are, Chris. If there's a guy that does have the special mask on, there's going to be some guys trying to spit up under it, right?
Oh, they're going to be all
to mess with them.
You wimp, you wearing that mask, you scared. I mean, yeah, you're right. They're going to hear it. They are. Also, what I thought about, Mike, too, is quarterbacks. Like, hey, I've had fun with Drew Brees and all the ticks he has on the field, right? I mean, every time he throws a pass, we show a clip of him, he does this right here. He licks both fingers, he grabs his shoulder pads and pulls them down every time. I don't want a mask on. And if I'm a quarterback, I'm sorry, I'm going to be licking my hands. That's what I'm going to do. My job is to throw the football. Licking my hands to get a little moisture helps me throw the football better. So those are other things I just look at and go, just football players are such creatures of habit. I think they're going to be bothered by some of that type of stuff. So we'll see where it all goes. It's an interesting talk, though.
It's going to take a real adjustment, and they've got time, but not a ton of time. And hopefully they're taking full advantage of the benefit they have that other sports don't have, where they're able to sit back, process, come up with ideas, and understand and change behaviors if they need to.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.